For my first DIY, I'm going to be using some of this wired jute cord, and these items here are from the Dollar Tree. I have 2 of these unfinished wood pumpkins. I'm going to be using the Harvest Word out of that 3-pack of words that they sell. I'm also going to be using this pretty fall pick that they put out this year. I love these colors. I have some other items here from Walmart. They had these greenery bunches on sale for 10 cents, so I did pick up a bunch of these. I'm also going to be using 2 packs of these wood painter sticks, and this is 3 in a pack for 98 cents at Walmart. Also going to be using some of this plaster color chalk paint. I'm going to be using some of this Rust-Oleum golden oak wood stain from the Dollar Tree, some Java color chalk paint, and I got this orange tint, and this was at Hobby Lobby on clearance for 74 cents, along with some Dollar Tree raffia. I'm using my saw to cut the handles off of all of these sticks, and then I'm going to line them up and use the Dollar Tree tumbling blocks to make sure that all of my spaces are even, and I'm just going to stand the tumbling blocks up on each side. And then I took the 6th painter stick and I cut that one in half, because I'm going to use that stick to attach these sticks together. So I just measured the length and then I cut them in half, and I'm just going to hot glue these on each side. I get my sticks attached together. What I'm going to do is use that golden oak wood stain from the Dollar Tree to stain over this piece, and I will be staining the front and the back. Then after I get that complete, I'm just going to take this Dollar Tree sanding block to smooth down where I cut the sticks. And then after I get that complete, I'm going to start painting my 2 wood pumpkins as well as that Harvest Word. I'm going to paint that Harvest Word using the plaster color chalk paint. Now I'm cutting off the strings to the pumpkin, and I wanted to cover the holes, but I realized I didn't have any plaster from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to try to use this caulk. It didn't work as good as the plaster usually do, but it was okay. So I'm just going to add some to that hole, smooth it out, and then what I'm going to do is once it dries, take my Dollar Tree sanding block to smooth it down as much as I can. Then what I'm going to do is start painting these pumpkins. I'm going to use that orange stain from Hobby Lobby to stain the first pumpkin. I'm just going to add it to a little baby wipe, and I'm just going to go right over it in the same motion. I am going to stain the front and the back because I do like my projects to be finished on the back as well. And then after I get that stained, I'm going to use that Java color chalk paint to create the stem, and I'm just going to take my little chip brush from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to brush right over the stem, bringing it down a little bit to create that full stem look. And I'm just brushing right over it. And then after I get that complete, I'm going to paint the other pumpkin using that Waverly plaster color, and then I'm going to do the same thing by creating a stem using this Java color. And so after I get that complete, what I'm going to do is flip my sign over so I can hot glue some raffia to the back of it. Now I'm going to cut the raffia in half so I won't have to work with so much at once because it can be messy. And then I'm going to pull pieces apart and just hot glue it down to the sign. I'm not trying to go in any form. I just want to add some of it in different areas. And so I'm just pulling it apart, taking my hot glue and just attaching it, no form, no fashion. And I'm just going to do like maybe 3 sets of this. So after I get that complete, I'm going to flip my sign over. I didn't want any of the raffia hanging on the sides or the bottom, so I'm just going to trim that down. And then my pumpkins are going to be attached on the back. So what I want to do is see how I'm going to attach them. So I'm just going to place the 2 pumpkins together, determining how I want them to be styled. And once I figure out how I want them to be styled, I'm just going to hot glue the 2 pumpkins together. And then after I get them hot glued together, what I'm going to do is staple them to the back of the sign. So I'm going to place the sign back on there, flip it over, take my staple gun, and just staple it on the sides. I'm going to give it like 2 staples on each side. And then what I'm going to do after that is to create a hanger. I am going to use some of that wire jute cord, and I'm just going to take a piece and stretch it from one side to the other side and give that 1 staple on each side as well. After I get that complete, what I'm going to do now is flip my sign over and start adding my decor. I'm going to add that harvest sign that I painted and just kind of place that on the top, slanting it a little bit and just adding some hot glue to attach it. And then what I'm going to do next is I pulled my bunch apart, all of my little greeneries, and I'm just going to start hot gluing those to the side, just creating a nice little layer of different florals and the little pieces off of that fall pick, as well as the greenery from that Walmart pick. And so I just wanted to create a nice layer of these different greeneries and florals just to make it really pretty. And so I love these off-white sunflowers from the Dollar Tree. I ended up finding these little orange tinted florals off of a Walmart pick that I had, and I decided to pull off 2 of those just to blend it in so I can bring in a little orange to match that pumpkin. And that is it. I think this came out absolutely beautiful. I love it. And another fall pick from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use one of the Dollar Tree candle holders, one of their vases, and some raffia along with my white spray paint. What I'm going to do is hot glue that vase to the top of that candle holder. You can use E6000, but I didn't have any. And so what I'm going to do next is spray paint this piece. After I get it spray painted, I'm just going to take that raffia and hot glue it down right in the center where I connected these 2 pieces together, and I'm just going to wrap it right around, adding hot glue here and there to make sure that it's tacked down. And then after I get that complete, I'm just going to cut off a piece of that Dollar Tree foam block, and I'm going to add it right inside of the vase, and then I'm just going to place the raffia right on top. I'm just going to push it down in there, and then I'm going to take those 2 Walmart picks and just cut the stems down some, and I'm going to place those inside of the foam hole. I'm not going to pour the picks apart, but I am going to pour the picks apart on that Dollar Tree pick, fall pick, and then I am going to add those all in separate. Since there was only 1 pumpkin on that fall pick, I am going to take those leftover pumpkin picks that I used in the previous DIY to add those to this arrangement as well. And after I get those placed in, this DIY is complete, and I think it came out absolutely beautiful. I really do love the white. Using this thankful sign from the Dollar Tree. I'm also going to be using some Dollar Tree raffia. I have some picks here from Hobby Lobby. This berry pick here was 98 cents, and then this leaf pick was $1.50, and these 2 pumpkin picks were $1. What I'm going to do is just pop the frame off the front of this sign, and it comes off really easy. And then I'm going to take that Dollar Tree raffia and just add it right to the center. I'm going to use this sign as a tray so I can create a table swag. I'm going to take that fall leaf pick, bend it in half, and just hot glue it right down in the center. I'm just going to fold the stem down, take some hot glue, tack it down, and then I'm going to pull off that little tag that's still on there. I'm going to do the same thing with the berry pick, except I'm going to cut the stem off of this one and just bend over a few of those berries and hot glue it to the center as well. I am going to cut the stem off of these pumpkins though. I thought these pumpkins were so pretty. I love the velvet look of them. So I'm just going to hot glue those right on top of the stems in the center. Decided to use this little bag of fall potpourri that has the little acorns in there, and I'm just going to hot glue some of those right around the pumpkins, and then this is complete. This was really simple, but it is absolutely beautiful for the fall, and you can style this on your table, your coffee table. It is really pretty. This unfinished wood pumpkin from the Dollar Tree, along with another one of the little sayings out of the pack and some of that Dollar Tree golden oak wood stain. I am going to pour this little raffia bow off the top. I'm going to attach it back. I'm just going to pull up some of that glue because it was a lot right there. What I'm going to do is take that wood stain, and I'm only going to stain the center and the sides of this. So I'm going to go right on the top of the center, and I'm also going to stain over those grooves on each side. I wanted to create just a really simple, beautiful pumpkin. I'm also going to pour off some of those greenery pieces off of that Walmart pick, and I'm just going to hot glue those right around the stem, and then I'm going to take that raffia bow and attach it right in the center. And then I'm going to take that give thanks saying, and I'm going to place that right in the center of this pumpkin. And after I get that complete, this DIY will be done. Very simple. I love the simplicity of it, and I think it came out really beautiful, and it's going to look great blended in with some existing fall decor. I have this little greenery bunch from Walmart. I'm going to be using 3 of these craft sticks. I also have 3 of these wood pieces from the Dollar Tree that has the jute cord hanging on them. I also have from Michael's, I believe. Yes, from Michael's. I got this blessed word, and this was 3 in a pack for $3. I picked up this scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby for 69 cents. And I'm going to be using some more of that mini wax in the color Early American. Now what I'm going to do first is cut the strings off these wood pieces. Now I'm going to stain the back of all of these pieces, but the front of one and just the sides on 2 of them. So what I'm going to do is just get my stain and my paper towel, and I'm going to start staining all of these pieces, and I'm also going to stain all 3 of the craft sticks. Once I get that complete, as you can see, I did stain the other sides. Now what I'm going to do is measure my scrapbooking paper to the size of these pieces so that I can Mod Podge them on there. I'm just going to take my pencil and trace it, and then what I'm going to do is just use my little paper cutter to cut down the pieces. Once I get them both cut down, what I'm going to do is take some Mod Podge and add it to the wood piece, and then I'm going to place my paper on top, and I am going to add the Mod Podge on top of the paper as well. And I am going to do this to both of the wood pieces. And then after I get both of them complete and they dry, I'm just going to take a sanding block and I'm just going to go around the edges of these. If the paper was too long, once I go in with the sanding block and sand over it, it will just fall off. And I always go in a downward motion so I won't lift up the paper. And I'm going to do this for both of them. Once I get that complete, I'm going to go over them with a little bit of antique wax. I'm just dry brushing it over a little bit just to give it a little distressed look. Not much, just a really little bit. And then once I get that complete, I'm going to line my pieces up so that I can connect them using those craft sticks. So what I'm going to do is flip them over, and then I'm going to use these tumbling blocks from the Dollar Tree so that I can create the same space in between them. And then I'll just take those craft sticks and attach them. Now, I don't know why I did 3 craft sticks. As you can see here, I realized I didn't need that one, plus I added too much glue. So I'm adding the glue to the pieces and then adding the craft stick, and I only needed 2. So after I get my craft sticks attached, I'm just going to flip my sign back over. But first, what I'm going to do is create a hanger. Now, I always use the juke wire from the Dollar Tree, and I just cut off a piece. I love using this to create hangers, and then I'll just staple it to the back. Now I'm going to turn my sign over and add the rest of my decor. I'm just going to take that blessed word and I'm going to hot glue that to the center once I get it lined up. And then what I'm going to do is just pull off a few pieces of that greenery to add to this sign. I am going to make sure that I cover the holes right there, so I'm going to make sure I add a few pieces of greenery there. And then I'm going to add some greenery to the bottom plank on the other side. And I think that's going to be it for this. I really like how this sign is turning out. It is so cute. I absolutely love it, and I cannot wait to style this with some other decor that I have. I absolutely love it. And now from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to be using one of these little round glass vases. Also from Hobby Lobby, I picked up these 4-pack of wreaths, and these were $3.99, but I got them 40% off, so that was a deal. I have this bag of filler with the little pine cones and the little pumpkins, and I'm also going to be using this little piece of greenery. Now what I'm going to do is use 2 of these wreaths because I wanted it to be thicker at the bottom, and I want everything to fit nice and snug. So now I'm going to cut my little greenery pieces off the stem because I'm going to add these to the little wreath. And I'm just going to go around first and stick all of the ones that I'm going to use inside the wreath. And then after I get all of my stems in there, what I'm going to do is just kind of push them down. I want to push them down all in one direction, but I want to leave a little gap in the front where I can add some of the pine cones and some of the little pumpkins. And so now what I'm going to do is just add my filler into the vase. And then I'm going to take a few of those little pine cones and those little mini pumpkins and just hot glue those around the greenery in the front. And then after I get those hot glued down, this DIY is complete. I think this has a really nice high-end look to it. I absolutely love this piece. I think this is going to blend in with a lot of different decor. And now for the next DIY, I'm going to be just using some of that buffalo check ribbon, and I cut out a few more of those little rub-on transfer stickers. And I have these two cute little small candles from Walmart. They were only 99¢. What I'm doing is just tying some ribbon around the rim of these candles, and I'm tying it really tight, and I'm going to create a bow. But what I'm going to do is hot glue that bow down. So after I cut it down, I'm hot gluing the bow down to the sides. As you can see, I'm just going to, the tails, I'm going to hot glue those down, and then hot glue the little bow right on top of that. This is really simple, but I love decorating candles. So after I get both of them done this way, all I have to do is transfer over my stickers. And I cut out some cute little pumpkins, and I cut out the word good and the word times. And I'm going to put the word good on one and times on the other. I thought these were so cute. All I'm doing is just adding my little stickers, rubbing over them, and getting them transferred over. The word to the top of the first pumpkin, and then the other candle I'm going to add the word at the bottom. And these were really simple, but they came out so cute. I absolutely love them. And for this next DIY, I'm going to be using some more greenery from Walmart. I was going to use these little sticks, but instead I'm going to use some more of that filler from the previous DIY with the little pine cones. I'm also going to be using some jute cord and some more of that ribbon. And I have two of these little wood pieces from the Dollar Tree, the little hello word and the little pumpkin. And I'm also going to be using two of these scarecrow brooms from the Dollar Tree. Now what I'm going to do is remove all of these attachments. I don't want these leaves or the scarecrows. I just want to use the brooms. So I'm just going to pull all of these attachments off. I'm using two of them just to create a bigger broom. So after I get the attachments off, I'm going to push these together, and to make them one, I am going to take some jute cord to wrap it around the stick part. And so I'm just going to wrap the jute cord down, and I'm going to completely continue to wrap this all the way to the top. So after I get it wrapped all the way around to the top, I'm going to take some hot glue to tack it down, and then I'm going to cut off the excess jute cord. Once I get that complete, what I'm going to do is just fluff out the broom a little bit, just making it a little bit more wider. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cut my greeneries off the stem, because I'm going to add them to the broom. But what I'm going to do is push the stems under the jute cord. And as you can see, I'm just sliding them right under there, making this nice and full. This is actually going to be a really cute piece that you can hang on your door. You can hang this in the kitchen. This can be like a wreath. I really absolutely love this piece. And so after I get all of my greenery in there, what I'm going to do now is just take some jute cord, and I'm going to string it through that pumpkin. I did stain that pumpkin with some of my wood stain. Right now I'm just trying to measure how high I'm going to hang it. Once I get that complete, I'm just going to hot glue that wood word from the Dollar Tree right on top of the pumpkin, and it says hello fall. And now I'm going to take some of that filler, and I'm just going to be hot gluing some of those pine cones and the little pumpkins throughout the greenery, just giving it a little bit more fall look. Then I'm going to take my little pumpkin. I'm going to tie a knot around that so it can be nice and secured. And then what I'm going to do is just wrap it around the broom, and I'm going to tie a knot. I want it to just hang a little bit. I'm actually creating a little loop bow so that I can use that loop to hang it. And then what I'm going to do now is take that ribbon, tie it right under the pumpkin. I'm not doing a fancy bow, just something basic because I want to see the tail of that ribbon just hang down. I thought that would look really pretty. And then what I'm going to do is just pull it down and cut the tails a little bit so that they can be presentable. I'm going to hot glue a few more of those little pumpkin fillers. I'm going to glue a few at the top, and this is complete. Simple, but I absolutely love it. I think this is a really pretty piece for the fall. The saying out of that pack from the Dollar Tree, welcome fall. I have this wood acorn, this wood leaf, and this wood pumpkin. Also, I'm going to be using some of this twine that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. The paints that I'm going to use is some of that plaster color chalk paint. I'm going to use some more of that brown paint that I got from the Target Dollar Spot. I have a little bit of this orange stain from Hobby Lobby and some more of that Dollar Tree golden oak wood finish. Now the first thing I'm going to do is take this orange stain that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to stain the pumpkin with that color. After I get the pumpkin stain, I am going to take that Dollar Tree wood finish and I am going to go over this acorn with that color. Then I'm going to paint the leaf using that plaster color. And so I'm just going to take my little foam brush and go over it. I'm not trying to do a full coverage for this leaf, so I'm just going to brush on that plaster color. And as I started painting, I realized that I didn't take my Dollar Tree plaster to cover up that hole at the top where the jute cord was. So after I get this painted and dry, I'm going to go in with that Dollar Tree plaster just to go over that hole. And once that dries, I'm going to take my Dollar Tree sanding block just to sand things over. And then I'm going to use that color that I got from the Target Dollar Spot. Like I say, it has an orange color to it, but if you look on the bottle, it says it's brown. But I'm just going to take that and I'm just going to distress around the outsides of the leaf. I'm not going to go so much in the middle. I'm just going to brush on this color all around the outsides. And so I'm just going to brush on enough until I feel like I like how it looks. And then after I get that complete, I am going to take that Dollar Tree golden oak stain and I am going to go over that little wording, welcome fall. And what I'm going to do now is start wrapping these twine around my pieces. Now first I'm going to take it and I'm going to hot glue it to the back of this acorn, and I'm going to wrap it all the way around to the top, even covering the little stem at the top. Now because of the way it's shaped, I'm going to have to add hot glue here and there just to make sure that everything tacks down and it doesn't unravel. Now what I like about this is I wanted to give this that messy raffia look, so that's why I decided to use this twine instead of the regular jute cord. So I'm just going to wrap that around, adding hot glue here and there until I cover it all the way up to the stem. After I get that complete, I'm going to just add a little extra hot glue, and I'm going to do the same thing to the very bottom. I'm going to add a little hot glue and wrap some of this cord around the little piece at the bottom. So after I get that complete, I'm also going to wrap the stem of that pumpkin as well. And I'm going to make sure I cover it all the way to the top and then tack it down with some hot glue. And I'm also going to wrap the little stem at the bottom of the leaf as well. I'm going to attach all my pieces together using some hot glue. I'm just going to set them the way I want them to be attached. And then I'm going to take some hot glue and attach the pumpkin and the acorn together first. And that's just for extra security. And then now I'm going to attach the leaf to both of them. And I'm just going to apply my hot glue and then press that down to make sure that everything connects. And then I'm going to take that welcome fall and I am going to attach that to the center of the leaf. You can add some jute cord to the back of this sign so that you can hang it, but I'm going to keep mine as a leaner. And I absolutely love this piece. I think it is so pretty. I love that the colors are kind of neutral, not too bright, but it just screams fall, and I absolutely love it. And I think it looked great paired with that centerpiece that I created with the little tassel. These welcome signs from the Dollar Tree. And I'm only using 2 just to make the sign that I'm creating sturdier. I have these cute little buffalo check pumpkins from the Dollar Tree, as well as these little berry picks. I'm also going to use one of these sheets of burlap that I got from Burlap Fabric, and this stencil that says family, along with some of that plaster color chalk paint. The first thing I'm going to do is just remove these strings from these signs, and I'm just using my wire cutters to pull out the staples. Once I get the staples removed from both of the signs, I'm going to take some hot glue to attach these 2 signs together. And like I say, I'm just using 2 of the Dollar Tree signs just to make it more sturdier and more straight. So what I'm going to do is just add the hot glue to one, and then I'm going to place the other sign right on top and press it down and make sure that everything connects. Once I have everything straight, I'm going to take my Dollar Tree sanding block just to sand down where those staples are, just to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. And then what I'm going to do is take that plaster color chalk paint and I'm going to paint over this entire sign. And I am going to paint the front and the back of this sign. I just like to give my signs a finished back as well. And so after I get it painted, I'm only going to go in with one good coat. I did cut some of that fabric down. I cut like a strip of that burlap fabric because what I want to do is add a strip in the center of this sign. And so I'm just going to line the fabric up how I want it, and then I'll just take some hot glue to attach it. And I'm just going around it adding some hot glue because I want to make sure that the fabric is nice and smooth on the surface, because I am going to go in with a stencil on top of this, so I want to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. Next, I'm going to place that family stencil right over the burlap, and I'm going to use some painter's tape to keep everything in place. And then I'm going to use one of my little round foam brushes from the Dollar Tree to add the paint over the words. And so what I'm going to do is just get my little foam brush, and I'm going to go in an up and down motion, just trying to make sure that I get everything nice and covered. Once I get that covered, I'm going to let it dry for a bit, and then I'm going to pour the stencil up. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to staple some cord to the back of this sign so that I will be able to hang it. And I'm just going to add 2 staples to each side. So after I cut the cord down, I'm going to flip the sign over so I can add my decor. And what I'm going to do in the top corner and the bottom corner, I'm going to add 2 of those berry stems, and then I'm going to add 1 of those pumpkins in the middle. I'm also going to add a bud off of a Dollar Tree sunflower bunch that I have, and I'm going to pull off 2 buds because I'm going to add those to each set of the berries as well. So after I add my 2 sunflower buds, this DIY is complete, and I really love how this sign came out. It is so pretty and it is so perfect for the fall. Using one of these soft pillows that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I have this burlap fabric with the word blessed on it. I pulled this off of a Dollar Tree sign. I'm going to be using this ribbon that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and what I'm going to do first is cut down just the blessed wording. I'm using my paper cutter because I just want to make sure that I can make the word straight. And then after I get that cut, I am going to fray the edges just a little bit. I'm just going to go around the little piece of fabric and just pulling off a little pieces just to fray the edges some. And then after I get that complete, what I'm going to do is attach the ribbon to the pillow. So I'm just going to wrap it around and I'm going to attach it together using some hot glue. So I'm just going to take some hot glue and add it to the pillow, place it down, and then I'm going to overlap the ribbon on top of the other end and tack it down. And then I'm going to add some glue in a few more spots just to make sure that my ribbon is nice and secure. This was a very simple DIY, but I absolutely love it. Now I'm just going to place the little blessed word right in the center by adding some hot glue, and then I'm going to go around adding some hot glue for extra security. And then after that is done, this DIY is complete. Very simple, very pretty, and it's ready for the fall. I'm going to get these large wreath rings from the Dollar Tree. I'm also going to be using some of these berry picks also from the Dollar Tree, along with some more of those little pumpkins and some of these florals, all from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be using some of this burlap fabric that I picked up from Walmart. I'm going to wrap this entire wreath ring using that burlap ribbon, and I'm just going to hot glue it to tack it down, and then I'm just going to wrap it all the way around until it is covered. Now what I'm going to do is just start adding my berries, and I'm just going to start placing those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this the sideways wreath, or you can do it from the bottom. I haven't decided how I'm going to style it. So what I'm doing is just adding the berries on the bottom of the wreath, and then I'm going to go to the top of the wreath. And that way, once I decide if I want it to be a half wreath or the decor at the bottom, if all of this makes sense, then I can still do it either way. So now that I have the berries on the bottom, I'm going to go and start adding the berries at the top of the wreath. And I'm just going to attach them using some hot glue, just like I did the ones at the bottom. Once I have all my berries attached, what I'm going to do is pull all of my buds off of the stems, and I'm going to attach those in between the sets of berries. And I'm just going to go in adding one style first, and then I'll add the sunflowers in the middle. Once I get that complete, I'm just going to go in and add those little buffalo check pumpkins. I think those are so cute. So I am going to flip it this way because I think this is the way I am going to style this wreath. So I'm just going to add the 3 pumpkins to the wreath, and then I'm going to take some of that buffalo check ribbon to create a hanger at the top of the wreath. So I'm just going to add the ribbon. I'm going to fold a piece under the wreath, and then I'm going to flip that under and attach it to the ribbon with some hot glue. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, flip it over from the front and attach it in the back with some hot glue. And I'm just going to make sure I add enough hot glue to make sure that everything is secure. And then after that is done, this wreath is complete, and I think this is so pretty and it just screams of fall. Of these wood plaques from Walmart for 98¢. I have a pack of these buffalo check printed leaves, these little wood leaves from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using some more of that burlap ribbon, and I have some rope here. I'm going to paint all 4 of those plaques using that plaster color. And what I'm going to do next is wrap in the center of each one of these that burlap ribbon, and I'm just going to hot glue it and add it to the center. I am just going to create 4 simple plaques that you can blend in some other fall decor that you have. These are going to be very simple, but you can style these with some existing fall decor. So I did cut 4 little pieces of that rope, and what I'm going to do is staple that rope to the back of each one of these plaques so that I can have the option to hang them. And after I get that complete, all I have to do is hot glue one of those leaves to the center of each one of these plaques. These were really simple. I think they are so cute, and they can blend in with any decor that you may have up for the fall. Using is this ultra matte white spray paint, and I am going to spray paint the front as well as the back of this piece of pen with this color. Now I am going to give it 2 coats, letting it dry in between each coat to make sure that it's nice and white. Now I'm going to be styling it on the back side. So I have these beads here from the Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to do first is glue this string of beads around this piece of pen, and I'm just going to be using some hot glue to attach it. As you can see, I'm coming all the way around, and then I'm just going to trim down the bead and this little piece of cord on the end. I'm just making sure that everything meets nicely, and then I'm just going to cut off the bead. Once I get that complete, I am going to add my florals. Now I have 2 really pretty picks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be using these lamb's ears from Walmart. The lamb's ears have went up. I believe they're $2.48 now. Maybe less than that, but they're not $2 anymore. So I'm just pulling all of my pieces off so that I can add them separately. And what I'm going to do first is layer my lamb's ear leaves. And I did start off by covering up the part where the beads connected. It was pretty flushed, but I just wanted to cover that up so that everything else can be nice and uniform. Now I'm going in with one of those picks from the Dollar Tree, and as you can see, I'm just layering my florals right on top of one another, and I'm just going to pull off the buds from that pretty Dollar Tree pick because I love these little florals. Also, the Dollar Tree put out some really beautiful pumpkins, and I'm going to use a couple of these out of the pack. And these are like the little sweater pumpkins, and they are so soft, so they're easy to lay flat if you just add glue to the back and just push it right down. So I'm going to add a few of these. and so far it's looking so pretty. Now the Dollar Tree have these little fall letters, or I guess they fall letters, but they have little words at the bottom and little animal attachments and different little things, and I'm just going to spell out welcome. These are very sticky. You can go over with Mod Podge, but if you don't, I think everything will stay nice and secure. Now I don't want welcome to be straight, so as you can see, I'm just adding them in different places. Now I don't have another E, but what I'm going to do is use a F and cut off the bottom of a L to create my E, and as you can see, it looks just like the other E, and everything came out so pretty. I absolutely love this sign, and I'm so excited to be doing another piece of pen DIY soon because this really came out cute. Dollar Tree in one of these wood crates. Now what I'm going to do is measure this little wood piece to the size of this crate so that I can use my minor box and saw to cut it down to size. So once I get that cut down to size, what I'm going to do is use this little Dollar Tree sandpaper to smooth out the edges, and then I'm going to take that sage color paint, and that's in the Hello Hobby brand, and I'm going to paint both of these little wood pieces with that color, and then I'm going to paint the crate using some Waverly white chalk paint. So once that's complete, I have these little transfer sticker words from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cut out the word thankful. I'm going to transfer that over to the little small wood piece, and I'm just going to use my little Cricut tool to go over the sticker. Once I get that complete, I'm going to take my crate, and I'm just going to take this Dollar Tree sandpaper to distress over it a little bit, just bringing in a little farmhouse. Now I'm going to use some more of those little wood pumpkins out of that Dollar Tree pack, and I am going to use these to create some legs, and I already poured out the little stem in 4 of them, and I'm just going to add 1 in each corner. Once I get that complete, I am going to take the little thankful sign and I'm going to glue that right to the front of the crate. And then after that is done, I am going to create a lid for this. And so I'm using these 2 tumbling blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to attach them right in the inside on each side, and this is what's going to help my lid from sliding around. And then I'm going to take another one of those little wood pumpkins, but I'm going to leave the stem in there, and I'm just going to hot glue that right in the center, and that will be it for my cute little box, my little thankful box. And we can just add in here what we are thankful for, and I just think this is so cute. For the next DIY, I have 2 of these little small wood pieces from the Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to be creating is 2 little cute coasters. So what I'm going to do first is use that Waverly white chalk paint to paint both of these. After I get that complete, I do have this cork sheet from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cut them to the size of the little wood pieces because I'm just going to use this for the back side of the coasters so that they won't scratch up any furniture, and just to give it a nice back to the little coaster. So I'm just cutting them down to size, and then once I have those 2 cut, these are self-adhesive, so all I have to do is peel off the backing And then I'm just going to place these right on the back. I love making coasters for all season. I just love coasters. And so once I have that complete, I'm going to take these transfer stickers from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to cut out 2 of the pumpkins designs, and then I cut out 2 of those words from the other sheet, and then I'm just going to transfer these 2 pumpkins right down onto the little coasters. After I get my pumpkins transferred over, then I'm going to transfer over my 2 words, and off of that sheet I cut off the words kindness and I cut out the word embrace. And I'm just going to place those right above the pumpkins on a little slant and transfer both of those over. Now since these are coasters, I am going to go over these using some Mod Podge. And what I usually do is apply the Mod Podge, let it dry, and then apply a second coat. And once that is complete, that will be it for these 2 coasters, and I think they came out absolutely adorable. Sign, I'm going to be using 2 of these cutting board signs from the Dollar Tree, and these are from the fall collection. I'm using 2 because as you can see they're pretty flimsy, and for a cutting board DIY I want it to be nice and sturdy. So all I'm going to do is use some hot glue to glue these 2 signs together to give me a much sturdier cutting board sign. Once I get that complete, I did mix this desert tan with the pumpkin color paint to get this pretty color here, and I am going to paint this entire piece using this color. I think this is such a beautiful combination of paints to create such a pretty color. And so I didn't paint the back of this because I did glue 2 signs together, and so the back was pretty finished. What I'm also going to be using for this DIY is I have a pack of these little wood utensils that came out of the coastal decor section, and I'm only going to be using one of the knives. So I'm going to open up the pack and pull out one of the knives. And I am going to paint this knife using some sage color paint. Now I'm going to choose my window cling, and I'm going to choose these really 2 small cluster of pumpkins and greeneries, and then I have one cute little mushroom cling. I'm going to use that as well, and I'm just adding the clings to the very bottom of my sign. And then I poured off another little small leaf, and I'm going to cut that leaf in half so that I can add it to the top of the little knife. Once I get that complete, I am going to go over the knife and the sign using some Mod Podge. I think this cutting board came out so cute. It's also giving me like boho vibes as well with the color scheme, and I really like how this turned out. So once I get the Mod Podge over the sign and it dries, I am adding a lot for just in case this end up in the kitchen. If any water splash on it, I want it to still be okay. So once I get that done, I do have some greenery here from off a Walmart pick, and I'm just going to see how I want to arrange it at the top of the sign. So I'm just figuring out where I want everything placed, and then I'll take some hot glue and tack everything down. So after I get all of my greenery tacked down, I am going to take some jute cord and wrap it around the handle of the cutting board and just tie a really simple basic bow. Once I get that complete, I am going to take my little knife and I am going to add it to the cutting board. I thought the knife would be cute since this is a cutting board. So once I get that tacked down, this DIY is done, and I think it came out so cute, and it really do give me boho vibes, but I absolutely love it. Of these pumpkins here with the raised pieces and the little raffia bow that I am going to remove. What I'm going to do first is take my antique wax and I'm going to paint around the pumpkin. I'm not going to paint the raised part. I'm just going around the outside of the pumpkin. Once I get that complete, I am going to go back in and paint the raised portions, and I'm going to be using that celery color chalk paint. So after I get all three of the raised portions painted with this celery color, then I'm going to choose some of the floral window clings off of that sheet. I'm only going to be using some smaller clings, and I'm going to be adding them to the top. I am going to add some Mod Podge before adding the clings. I'm just going to move some of this over. I didn't mean to have that much, but I can still use it. So I'm just adding my Mod Podge, and I'm going to go around the pumpkin with that. And then I'm just going to pull off a few of the leaves off of the window cling sheet and just add them to the top portion of the pumpkin. I'm going to add a few more, and then I'm just going to go over them with some more Mod Podge. Once I get all of that added and everything dries, I am going to embellish this a little bit at the top. I'm going to pull off some more of those boxwood picks, and I'm just going to attach them right to the top part. And I'm going to use some hot glue for that. I'm just clipping the stems down a little bit. After I get those attached, the only thing I'm going to add is another one of those cute little raffia bows with the little button in the center. And then that will be it for this DIY. Really simple, but I think this came out so cute. And now for the next DIY sign, I have this little sign with the kickstand, and I'm going to just pull up this little metal attachment to it. Once I get that taken off, I am going to use that desert tan paint, and I'm going to go over this sign. I'm going to give it 2 coats, letting it dry in between each coat. After I get that complete, I am going to go over it using some Mod Podge, because the pumpkin that I am going to pull off that window cling sheet It's pretty big, so I want to make sure that it's nice and secure. But it matches this desert tan color so good. That's why I chose that. So I'm just going to peel off the window cling, and I'm going to place it right on my sign. I think this is so cute. I'm going to smooth everything out and then go over it again with some more Mod Podge. After I get that complete and everything dries, the only thing I'm going to do to this is add one of those cute little bows from Hobby Lobby right to the top part where the stem is on the pumpkin, and that will be it for this sign. I absolutely love this sign. I know it's really simple, but I think this is so cute. For my next DIY from the Dollar Tree, I have two of these little galvanized signs with the jute hanger, and I'm going to choose two of those window clings, and I like the ones that have the little pumpkin clusters with the floral, and so I'm just going to add them to my little sign, and then I'm going to go over it with some Mod Podge. I think this is really simple, but these clings attached and blended in with these galvanized signs so well. I think these are really cute for some kitchen decor, for any room decor, but I am going to eventually style these in the kitchen. Now for the second one, I just chose another cluster of pumpkins. This one is a little bigger, but I'm just going to press down the little leaves that's hanging over so that I can have a little piece of image on the side. I thought that was cute, and I'm going to go over this with some Mod Podge as well. Really simple, and once these two dry, that will be it for these DIYs. You can paint the little signs, but I like them just the way they were. Very simple, but I think these are really cute. For the first one, I have two of these wood cutouts from the Dollar Tree, and I'm also going to be using a piece of one of these wood pieces out of the Dollar Tree as well. What I'm going to be doing is painting both of these pumpkin using some Waverly chalk paint in the color pumpkin. I'm just cutting the tags off, and then I'm going to give them two coats. I'm going to be painting both sides, front and back of the pumpkins. This project is very simple, but it's functional, and it's bringing fall to your home. I originally was going to go with one of those green colors that I've been using, but since this is going to end up in the kitchen, I thought why not just go with this traditional orange color. It's so beautiful, and as you can see, I painted front and back. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to wrap the top of these stems using some jute cord. I was just making sure that the stems are facing the same way because that does matter when I attach these pieces together. So I'm just adding some jute cord to the very tip of the stem on the front side and the back side to make sure that everything is secure, and then I'm just going to start wrapping it around the previous cord, and I only have to now add glue here and there just to make sure that everything is tacked down. What I am creating is a paper plate holder. I keep paper plates around the house for the boys, otherwise I will be washing tons of dishes. So I'm just tacking down the jute cord in the back, and then I'm going to repeat that step and cover the other pumpkin stem. Once I have both of them wrapped, I'm going to add just a little bit embellishment. I found this pretty pick at Hobby Lobby for $1.79. It was 40% off. I love the color of the leaves, and these little berry pieces are so cute. So I just cut one stem of each piece off, and I'm just going to hot glue it right down below the stem. I'm adding the leaf first, and then I'm going to add the little berry pick. Once I get that attached, I'm going to add one of each to the second pumpkin, but I'm going to make sure that the stem is facing the other direction. So all I'm going to do is flip it over, and then I'm going to attach those two pieces. I want this paper plate holder to look the same on both sides so that you can use this as a centerpiece and it still looks beautiful from whichever side you was looking at it from. So once I get that attached, now I'm going to take that jute cord and create two little basic bows to hot glue right in the center of my leaves and my little berries. I didn't want to do too much to these pumpkins. I wanted to keep them very simple and pretty. So once I attach my bows, then I'm going to take that piece of wood from the Dollar Tree and I'm just measuring how much I need. So I'm just placing it right on the pumpkin, and then I'm going to mark it, and then I'll just use my minor box and saw to cut that down. Once I get it cut down, I'm actually going to be using both of these pieces. I'm going to use that smaller piece in the second DIY. So now I'm going to take some Waverly wax chalk paint to stain this piece. Once I get that complete, I'm going to attach my three pieces together. So first I'm just going to line up where I want it to be attached at, and then I'm going to use some hot glue. I do recommend some wood glue. I am using the Gorilla Glue sticks and they work well, but if you just want to make sure that everything is nice and secure and stays in place, I do recommend wood glue. But like I say, with these Gorilla Glue sticks, everything stays intact. So now I'm just lining up the pumpkin on the other side, and as you can see, I have the stems facing the same direction, and you can see the decor on both sides. I'm just adding the glue, and then I'm going to attach that piece, and then once I get everything stable, that will be it. I'm going to add some paper plates to this, and I think it came out so cute. I absolutely love it. I also found this cute little sign from the Dollar Tree that has these little beads for a hanger, and I decided to style that with this pumpkin as well. I think it just came out so cute. It looks great either way. Now for my next DIY, I'm going to use these two fall wood leaves out of the Dollar Tree. They do have a letter on them in black. I think these are so pretty. I'm going to keep that side just the way it is, and I'm actually going to flip them on the other side and use my sage color paint and give the other side two coats, letting it dry in between each coat. And I'm not going to paint the sides of these. I'm just painting the back side and the stem, the front of the stem at the bottom. So after I get both of these painted, what I am going to do is use some Waverly wax chalk paint to stain the bottom part, the stem part. I didn't want to paint that green. Once I get that complete, for this project, I'm going to use the other piece of that wood piece that I cut down with the minor box and saw. I already stained that little piece, so now I just have to attach all three pieces together to create my cute little napkin holder. So as you can see, I'm just lining up where I want to attach everything, and I'm going to add some hot glue and just press everything down on one side. And then I'm going to flip it over and add my other leaf piece. I think it looks really cute with the print in the inside and the green sage color on the outside. So once I get everything connected, that will be it. I have this really pretty orange color napkins that I found at the Dollar Tree. You can add any kind of napkins in there, but I thought it would be cute just to add these colorful napkins that I had. And so I'm just going to place them in there, and that is it. This is really simple, but I absolutely love how this turned out. I love that it's budget friendly, it's really cute, and it's actually functional for the fall season. Why I have one of these tall candles from the Dollar Tree and this glass candle holder. I'm just going to create a smaller candle, and how I melt my candles down is, as you can see, I just add them to simmering water to boil them down, and then I'm just using my knife to pour out the wick, which you can reuse. I found this really nice scent of pumpkin cream and marshmallows from Walmart for $2. So what I'm doing is just breaking it up and adding it to that wax. I did add it back in the water so it can all melt. Instead of reusing that wick, I have this pack of 10 wicks for $3 and something that I get from Hobby Lobby. And so I'm just going to add some glue to the bottom part and place it right down in the center. I'm adding glue to help me keep it right in place. And then what I'm going to do is slowly pour that melted wax and those melts into this little jar here. I want to make sure I pour it slow, so don't anything splash. I want to make sure that this candle is nice and set smoothly. So I'm just pouring it slowly. And this, I only use one candle with melts mixed in it. And so this is one candle that it took to fill this jar up. Once that's set and dries, it is so perfect. I absolutely love it, and I thought that scent was perfect for the fall season. So I stopped by the Dollar Tree to look for some wood items that I can use to create some really high-end looking pumpkins, and I thought those round wood pieces would be perfect. So I picked up 3 of those, and what I'm going to do is attach all 3 of these together to create me a pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is remove the tags, and then I'm just going to push 2 of them together and then take the 3rd one and I'm going to add it on top in the center. Now to attach these, I'm going to be using this woodwork glue from the Dollar Tree along with some hot glue for a instant hold. So you can make this pumpkin hang by creating a hanger, or you can just leave it as a leaner, but I'm going to use this wood piece here from the Dollar Tree to create a stand for my pumpkin. I'm just seeing how much I want to cut down. I believe I'm just going to cut it right down the center, and I'm going to use my miter box and saw to do that. Once I get that cut down, I'm going to use this celery color paint to paint this entire pumpkin, and I will be painting the front and the back. I'm going to give it 2 light coats, letting it dry in between each coat. I love styling pumpkins around the house during the fall season. I actually just love pumpkins in general, and I really wanted some really cute high-end looking wood pumpkins, but I didn't want to spend so much money, so I'm creating these on a budget. Now what I'm going to do is take the little wood piece, and I'm going to use some antique wax to stain this. I'm going to use that same brush and just distress around the sides of the wood pieces that I connected together. And then I am going to just lightly brush over the pumpkin, just bringing in a little bit of that color. And once I get that complete, I am going to connect my pumpkin to the stand by just standing it up. And I will be using some more of that wood glue and hot glue. Once I get that all lined up and attached, the Dollar Tree does have these little wood stems, and I'm going to just find one that I think is the perfect size for this pumpkin, and then I'm just going to attach it to the back of the middle wood piece, and I'll just be using hot glue to attach that piece. Once I get that all lined up and attached, I am going to do a little bit of embellishing. So I have some floral picks from Walmart, and I'm just going to pull these pieces apart so that I can attach them separately. Now I love that this pick was only 97 cents, so it kept this project budget friendly, but I love that it has the little raffia attached to it. So what I'm doing now is just taking hot glue to attach the two leaves. Now I'm just attaching the raffia, and I'm just keeping it like in that bow form and attaching it right in the center. And then now I'm going to attach that last little floral piece that was on there. I'm going to take my scissors to cut some of the raffia down on each side. And after I trim the raffia down, that will be it for this pumpkin. I think it came out really high end, and I absolutely love this. Cannot wait to style this in my home for the fall season. So you know the Dollar Tree have the little wood slices, so I picked up a couple of packs of these. For this next DIY, I'm going to be using 3 of them. So I'm pretty much doing the same technique that I did in the first DIY by adding 3 of these wood slices together to create a little pumpkin. Now what I'm going to do is use that pumpkin color chalk paint and paint 3 of them, and I'm just going over the front. I'm not going to go like all the way to the edge. I want to leave a little bit of that natural color to give me that distressed look. So anytime I see any wood items in the Dollar Tree, like these wood slices or any wood rounds, I like to pick those up for my stash because you can create so many different high-end looking decor pieces with them. And the Dollar Tree recently have put out a lot more really good quality wood pieces. Now I do want this little pumpkin to stand as well, so I'm just going to take 2 of these tumbling block pieces out of the game from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to stain these as well using some antique wax. Now what I'm going to do is just stack these like I did the previous DIY and attach it by using a combination of that wood glue along with some hot glue, and I'm just going to place that right on top. I'm going to find me another stick out of the little bag from the Dollar Tree. That's the perfect size, and then I'm going to attach that to the back. I'm just going to add some hot glue right at the top and the back, and then I'm going to place the stick right in the center. Now I'm going to embellish this a little bit around the stem. I have this cute little pick from Hobby Lobby. I thought the leaves on here was so adorable, so I'm just going to cut 2 of these leaves off and then a small amount of those berries. I'm going to use some hot glue to attach the leaves, and I'm just adding 1 on each side of the stem, and then I'm going to add the little berries. Now what I'm going to do is take some jute cord to create a little simple bow by wrapping it around my fingers a few times, and then I'm going to pull them off. I'm going to grab the center and wrap the cord around the center. I'll take some hot glue to tack that down and then cut off the excess cord. Then I'll go back in and just cut through the loops, and then I'm just going to take this little bow and attach it right in the center of the stem, and that will be it for this cute little pumpkin. I'm going to add the little tumbling blocks on each side so that it can stand, and that will be it for this. I absolutely love how this turned out. It is so adorable, and this pumpkin also have a nice little high-end look to it. So these next two little wood pumpkins, I must say, are my favorite. I have a bag of these little logs from the Dollar Tree. This is another item if you see in the Dollar Tree that you want to pick up. So what I'm going to be doing is using 8 out of this pack to create 2 pumpkins, and so I'm going to have 4 for each pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is attach these together. I'm going to stand them up, and I'm going to have 2 in the center and 1 on each side. I'll just be using hot glue to connect these. So I'm going to connect those 2 first, add this one in the front, and the other one in the other on the other side, just like this. And then I'm going to repeat this and connect the other 4. Once I get that connected, I'm going to pick out 2 small stems to add right to the center of these pumpkins, and I'm just going to be using hot glue to connect them. I'm just looking for some shorter ones, and then I'm just going to add the hot glue, and I'm adding extra hot glue all around for extra support. I'm not going to do too much embellishing to these 2 little pumpkins. I am going to pour some little greenery off a Walmart pick, and I'm just going to add a couple of leaves on each side, and that will be it for these pumpkins. I absolutely love these. I think they are so cute, and they really have a nice rustic look to them. DIY. I'm going to be using some of these wood slices from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using 4 of those and 1 of these wood pieces. What I'm going to do first is take my miter box and saw and just cut down these wood slices. I'm just going to cut the bottom of each slice. Once I have that done, this is how they look, and I am going to keep these little pieces that I cut off because I'm going to use these for future DIYs. So what I'm going to do first is take these 4 pieces, and I'm going to paint them all different colors. I have this wild mushroom, the celery, the pumpkin, and this desert tan color. So what I'm going to do is just start painting all of the little pieces. Now just finishing off these pieces with these different colors. I thought bringing in all of these different colors together for one decor piece will be great for the fall. I also love these little wood slices. I think they make decor just have a nice high-end look to it when you're using wood. So once I get all of those painted, I am going to stain this wood piece here from the Dollar Tree using that antique wax by just rubbing on the paint and then wiping off the excess using a dry paper towel. I'm also going to be using these little stems from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to pick out 2 of them and cut them in half just to get some little shorter stems. Then I'm just going to line these pumpkins. These are now pumpkins, my little half pumpkins, up on this other wood piece, just so I can see where I am going to attach them. And then I'm just going to start attaching each one of them using some hot glue. This is a really simple and easy piece, but it has a nice high-end look to them. Once I get all of those attached, then what I'm going to do is start attaching the little stems right in the center at the top of each one, and I'm just going to be using some hot glue for this part as well. After I get that complete, I'm just going to take some jute cord and I'm going to tie a basic bow around the stem of each one of these. As you can see, I'm just tying a really simple basic bow, and then I'm just going to clip off the excess. I also have one of these little wood words from the Dollar Tree. The ones they said welcome fall. They came in a pack with a few different sayings. I'm cutting off the bottom part, the fall part, because I just wanted to say welcome and it was easy to cut. Then I'm going to take that celery color paint and paint over my little welcome word. I also am going to be using, I have this little transfer sticker sheet from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to transfer one of the little leaves over to the little smaller pumpkin. I just placed a sticker and just rub it over it, and then I'm going to pull that up and then just hot glue the little welcome word right down to the base, and that will be it for this DIY. I absolutely love the colors. This was simple to make and I think it came out so cute. For my next DIY, I'm going to be using one of these wood pieces from the Dollar Tree along with these stems. I'm going to take these stems and just hot glue them all the way around this wood piece, just creating a really rustic box. And I'm just adding some hot glue to the bottom of the stem. I'm just picking any size. I don't care if any is taller than the other one, but for the most part, all of these stems are pretty much the same height. They just different sizes. So I'm just going to continue going all the way around until I have it boxed in. Once I get that complete, this is how it look. I absolutely love this for the fall season. You can do so much with this box. I am going to take some antique wax and just go around the bottom part of this, just staining it a little bit so it can blend in with those sticks a little better. This part ain't necessary, but I wanted to kind of blend the sticks in. And once I finish that, that is it. I'm going to style a Dollar Tree candle in here along with some leaves and, you know, some little florals that I pulled off a Dollar Tree fall pick. And that will be it for this. You can use this for so many different things. I think it's just really pretty for the fall, and I think it will look great with some pumpkins styled in this as well. For this next DIY, I'm going to be using more of those wood slices. I have 2 packs, and I'm going to be using these wood letters from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint the F-A-L-L to spell out fall. I had to pull out an L out of another pack because you only get 1 L in each pack. And I just added them to some tape to keep them steady while I paint them using this pumpkin color chalk paint. Once I get those painted, what I'm going to do is paint those wood slices, and I'm going to use the same colors that I used in the first DIY, the celery color, what else did I use? Oh, the wild mushroom and the desert tan. I had like a brain freeze for a minute. So what I'm doing is just getting each one of them painted, and then after I get that complete, I am just going to add the letters to each one of the slices. But two of the slices will be painted with that celery color. And then I'm just going to take some hot glue and attach the letters. This is another really simple DIY, but I absolutely love the colors in today's video. So now I'm taking one of those wood pieces from the Dollar Tree and I'm staining it using the antique wax like I did in the previous DIY. And then once I get that complete, I am just going to line these slices up right in the front. I am standing up that wood piece, and then now I'm just adding the hot glue, making sure that the bottom is even with the wood piece so it won't have any issues standing up. So once I get all of those attached, all I'm going to do is attach some stems to the top of each one of these wood slices, and I took 2 stems and cut them in half, and I'm just going to hot glue one to each one of the wood slices, and that is going to be it for this DIY. I'm not going to do any other embellishing with this. I wanted it to just say fall, and I think this came out really cute. For these next 2 DIYs, they are really simple. I'm going to be using 5 of these little wood stems from the Dollar Tree, and I have this pack of little wood picks from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using these 2. All I'm going to do is stack 2 of these stems together, and then I'm going to stack 3 of them together, and I'll just be using hot glue to attach them. What I'm creating is 2 little faux wood candles. Really simple, but I thought that the stems from that pack from the Dollar Tree looked like little flames. So all I'm going to do is just cut them off of the little stick that they're on. I'm going to cut them down to the little green part, and all I'm doing is just hot gluing them right in the center of the little wood log, and that will be it for these. I'm going to hot glue the other one right on top, and those are my little faux wood candles. I think they are adorable. For the next 2 DIYs, I think these are so cute. I'm going to be using 2 of these little wood pieces from the Dollar Tree that has the jute cord hanging, but I am going to cut off the jute cord. I'm going to paint both of these pieces using that celery color. So after I get them painted, I have another one of those little wood fall scenes out of the pack from the Dollar Tree, and this one says Hello Autumn, and I'm just going to paint this using that desert tan color. I'm also going to be using some of the transfer stickers from the Dollar Tree as well that have the fall leaves, and I'm just going to cut out some and start transferring them to like the top part of these little wood pieces. I absolutely love these transfer stickers. I think they are so pretty. So I'm just cutting out a few of them And then I'm going to start just transferring them like to the top part of each one of these wood pieces. As you can see, I already started transferring them over. I actually thought I was filming, but as you can see what I'm doing, I'm just laying them on top and just rubbing over them, keeping them right in the center. Now I'm going to take this little wood sign, Hello Autumn, and I'm placing it to make sure that that end covers the hole where the jute cord was. I also covered up the other hole using one of those little transfer stickers. And now I'm just hot gluing a stem out of that pack from the Dollar Tree to the top of each one of these pieces. And then I'm going to take some jute cord, and I already created 2 little simple bows, and I'm just going to hot glue them right to the top in the center, and that is it. I think these are absolutely adorable. They are just so perfect for the fall. So for this next DIY, I'm taking a little piece of the wood slice that I cut off the previous one and just hot gluing it down to another wood slice to create this little shelf. Now I'm taking these beads that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I am just hot gluing them, a small portion of them, to the back of this wood slice to create a little hanger. Once I get that attached, what I'm going to do is take one of those little transfer stickers off that sheet from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to transfer it right over to the front of the wood slice. Once I get that transferred over, and I'm just going to rub over it really good so I can get that image over. The Dollar Tree put out these cute little miniature wood pumpkins, and that is what I'm going to use to style on this little shelf. So what I'm going to do is just take 2 of those little pumpkins out of that pack from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint 2 of them using that pumpkin color paint. This is a simple DIY, but it is so adorable. So after I get both of them painted, I am going to take some paper towel with a little antique wax on it and just brush over the top of the pumpkin and the stem. Then I'm going to hot glue both of those pumpkins down to my little shelf. And that will be it for this little DIY. I think this is so adorable. I absolutely would love to make more of these cute little pieces to hang for the fall. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I did. If so, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. As always, in the comment section below, let me know which one of these DIYs were your favorite. I hope you got some inspiration out of today's video. Until next time, my friends, stay safe so that I can see you in the next video.